Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, May 29th, and today we will cover the trades for YieldMax funds, TSLY, Coney, Nvidia, Misti, SMCY, and Platey. But before we begin, as usual, yes, I'm going through the pre-market. Saw a lot of complaining about the pre-market, but keep in mind, I'm doing this mainly to get ahead of it, obviously for the discussion of where we stand heading into the week. We have to have an idea, obviously the fluctuation changes by the time you guys watch this video, but it is just to get an idea of where the market is headed before we get into discussion of where we stand on the other trades. But what I will do is just go a little faster. All right. So I hear you, but we still got to go through them. All right. TSLY up 2.8%. TSLY up 2.8%. TSLY up 1.69. Nvidia, they had good earnings, I believe. So they're up 5.33% in the pre-market. Nvidia is capturing 3.92% of that. Coin is up 3.19%. Coney's up 2.96%. MSTY up 2.65%. Misti up 2.87%, TSLY up 5.59%. TNA's blown up again, and there was another news. Obviously, the courts are trying to block Trump's tariffs. I don't know what the hell's going on, but obviously the market likes it, and TNA is up 5.87%. Bitcoin is up 1.35%. BitX is up 3.18%. Soxel's up 8.57%, which is massive. SMCY is up 4.43. SimCy's up 3.24. Plater's up 1.89. Platy's up 2.04. UPro's up 4.65%. TQQQ is up 5.97%. How's that for fast? There you go. There you go. No complaints now, hopefully. We'll see. All right, let's get to the trades and let's get moving here. Who had trades? TSLY, Nvidia, Coney, Misti, who else? And I think that's it. I think that's it from the gang. So yeah, let's get to it. By the way, Hui, they had a freaking distribution. That was a surprise to me, and a pretty good one, $3 and something. So anyway, let's talk about Misti. Let's see what they did. They did a lot, not a lot, but enough to be annoying. They got trades every day. All right, buy, call, sell, put. Yeah, okay. So they're adding to their synthetic. That just basically means new money coming in. Then they're closing the 410. They closed the strike price, rolled it down to capture more money. However, on this one, they moved it into next week. So we'll take a look at that. And then they're closing out the 412.50 strike, and they're rolling that down also into next week to the 400. So 400, I think, is the popular strike, at least for next week at this very moment. So let's take a look at the spreadsheet. All right, so here is the Misti file for those of you that are new to the channel. Again, it's real. Sometimes I guess it's hard to follow for new people. I do have sometimes a detailed breakdown. Typically those happen on the Monday recap. The last Monday recap or the one before that, you can check out. It should help you out. All right. So anyway, let's get to it. Here's the synthetic 390. What I do is I add all the trades that get added to the synthetic. We're actually running out of room now. See? Because yesterday we had another 1,400 contracts added to the 390, 95,915 contracts now. MSTR is catching up, maybe, I don't know, 6.6% away. It's looking green in the pre-market. But again, they got 23 days until they have to close this one out and roll it to a different position. The 420 also has 23 days, but, they're more behind. But we'll see how all that jazz plays out. All right, how did MSTR do yesterday? Red Day went down 2.14%. MSTY went down 1.94%. So, all right, it's fine. Nothing too terrible. The IV, 66.33% from 70. So that's a little rough. And this morning it's showing 64.14%. So, yeah, that's double rough, but whatever, man. All right, so let's look at what they did yesterday. I feel like I got to sneeze, but got to go back to work today. Sorry. There you go. All right. Anyway, what did they close yesterday? They closed the 410. They only paid 40 cents to close it. Well, they only closed actually 1,000 contracts of the 410, which cost them 40,000. In the end, they profited $287,000 on this one trade. So again, check. Mike check 1212. We won that trade. And then they closed out the 412.50, which we spoke of. This was all one trade. They paid about 37 cents, to close out each one. Obviously, they got, look at the credit they got to open it, over $4. So this is a successful win. Again, this is why we want MSTR to end up below the strike price, right? Because it's very, very cheap to close out. And it was very cheap, 37 cents. They made $113,000 on one, $464,000 on another, and then 1.3 mil on another. So yeah, winner, chicken frickin' dinner. I'm not gonna blow my damn nose. All right, whatever. All right, let's keep going. That's it. That's all they closed. The trades for yesterday, these are them. But you can see 1,000 contracts, 14. So they only opened the 1,400, it looks, at the 385. That's for this week. We'll see how that goes. Again, that's 5.7% out of the money. But most of the contracts, they decided to go with 400 strike, but that's for next week. So we'll see how that holds up. Again, we don't talk about next week already. Let it be. Anyway, outstanding shares, increase of 1.5 mil. That's pretty good, right? That's pretty good, I guess, right? More people buying into the fund as usual. Nothing new there. Misti, the recap here. Misti is at 21.28. MSTR is at 364.25. 30-day IV, 64%. Outstanding shares, 189,475,000. Total net income, this is from, during the current 4-week cycle. It's 44.1 mil. That calculates to be a total distribution of 23 cents, a total daily income of 1 cent per day, daily yield of 0.07%. And if you annualize that sucker, 25%. I know, it's nothing to get too excited about, but still, whatever. Let's move on. So MSTR funds overall, how'd they do? Let's see. Yesterday, again, was the 28th. MSTR, again, went down 2.14%. Probably should zoom in so you guys can see, right? All right, so they went down 2.14. Misti went down 1.94. Winter went up 2.18%, so pretty good job for Winter. IMST only went down 0.98%. Look at that. And then MST went down a lot, 5.42%, which obviously they did not win. But IMST did take the throne. And again, we compare MST to IMST to Misti. WNTR is not in this competition. Obviously, they won yesterday if they were. But the reason they're not is because they're the opposite. They're not really a competitor fund. They're just kind of the reverse fund, So anyway, let's move on. All right, reaction. Where are we at here? Reaction is now that Coney and Group C declared, you know what time it is. It's time for Group D. So now we're just waiting for Group D guesstimate. All right, it's coming. It's coming when? 6 days away on June 4th. Almost in freaking June already. Do you believe it? Hopefully it don't rain like this in June. Good God. Just rain every freaking day. All right, synthetic income, 156 mil. That's pretty good. Weekly income, 44 mil. That's a total net income of 201 mil. If you share that with all the suckers out there, what do we got? All the Misti Mafia, how much are they getting each? Right now, it shows to be $1.06. That's how much they've made per share. Weeklies, it came to about 23 cents per share. So again, the Rotomator takes the weeklies if they're in a profitable spot. And then, assuming they're going to earn what they do on average per day, it only comes to 32 cents. So we will default to the IV estimate. The IV estimate is only now 64% IV. So that comes to $1.05, which, yeah, that sucks. Yeah, that really sucks. We're bordering $1. So, but to be honest, guys, embrace yourself for a low payment this time around. You got to get over it. You ain't getting $2 every time. You're not. You ain't getting $3 every time. You're getting $4 every time. And yes, there will be a point where you're getting under $1. It may not be this payment, but it could be the next payment. So the sooner you accept that, the better off you'll be. All right. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but you know what I'm saying. It's not. You're not. It's not. This fund. It's doing well. It is. It's whooping ass, honestly. But you're not gonna get paid $2-3 every single month and expect it to be where it's gonna be, right? It's sitting at what, 21? If it pays $1, it'll drop, to 20. Okay, even that's fine. But we got to keep our expectations a little tempered here. We got to be a little realistic at the same time. There's gonna be down months. We could go back down to 17 or whatever the low was. It's we gotta be prepared for that, because again, they pay out what they make. So eventually, yeah, it could happen. Anyway, enough of the negative news. Let's look at the calls here. How we doing? Well, actually, I did not shade next week's in red. I should do that, right? I should highlight the row. I should click the font color and make it red. That way that's for next week. Okay, great. Here, all right, let me get rid of the tabs so you can see the full picture. Here we go. All right. MSTR's current price as of the close, 364.25. All right. So if we look at the strike prices, again, what do we want to happen? Just think about it, guys. Think about it. They're selling calls, right? They're saying, I'll sell my shares at these various strike prices, right? At 385, at 390, 395, 400, 405, 410 by the expiration date of Friday. So if we're saying I'll sell my shares at 385, by Friday, and by Friday, MSTR is not above 385, no one's going to want this freaking contract. That's why it's going to be worth a penny. And that's why it's chump change to close. However, if MSTR goes to 400, you damn right, you're paying the piper, right? You're paying that $15 gap at least plus time value to cover the gap. But that's why we always say, what do you want to happen? What do you want to happen? Again, we want best case scenario. We want maximum income. We want to win the most money, the most profit we can on our trades. And in order to do that, what do we want? We want the synthetic to do well, and we want the weeklies to do well. So in order for that to happen, we want the stock to go up, but not above the strike prices of the calls. Make sense? Great. Anyway, let's move on. So the lowest strike we have is 385. That's 5.7% out of the money. So that's how much room we have. All right. If we can go up to 384 by Friday, boom, perfect. All right. We'll capture the upside on the synthetic, and we'll still, take pretty much maximum profit on all of the options trades, assuming they let them expire, or at least last until the Friday. We'll see how all that plays out. But what are we right now? If you look at the calls, what are we? We are scattered-a-doo. What does that mean? We are freaking scattered all over the place. We got 6 strikes, 385, 390, 395, 400, 405, 410. So we are ready for it all. Lowest strike is 5.7% out of the money. Highest strike is 12.56% out of the money. We do have a buy call. Doesn't look to be useful, so it's just chilling there. It'll probably be worth a penny when all said and done too. And then obviously in red, we're selling calls for next week. So, no need to talk about that yet. All right, if we look at the synthetics, again, they're a little behind. No need to sing gold digger, because they're not gold diggers yet in my eyes, because it's MSTR. They got time to recover. And hopefully, they'll make us a little bank, bro, little bank. All right, the value of Misti is $4. The NAV, 21.25. Trade price, 21.28. Again, it's chilling at this $21 mark. Synthetic is, it's in the negative. So, there's nothing exciting there. Synthetic contracts total 110,615. They are selling calls on 99.15% of those contracts, which obviously totals 109,675, and they have credit call spreads. We saw the buy call. It's only on about 1% of the covered calls, which who cares? Who cares? We've been okay. We're gonna be fine. Hopefully, we'll see how today goes though, because again, today's Thursday, and then we have Friday, so we got 2 trading days. How you doing? Hopefully, we're doing all right. We'll see how things go. All right, and then we got IMST, another competitor. What do? They didn't really do anything from what I can tell. They still got the 2 synthetics, the 365 and the 375. Are they making money? Not necessarily, but they got till June 20th. And then they're selling calls all over the place. Some expire June 6th, some expire June 13th, and then some expire, we got a Friday the 13th in there, and then some expire June 20th. None expire tomorrow, so we really don't have anything to care about at this very moment on IMST. So they're selling calls, further expiration. So we'll see how it goes. We'll let it all develop. And then we got MST, again, a little bit of a different fund, a little more confusing. They're buying calls. They got a freaking swap in there, and then they're selling calls. So let's look at the sold calls, see if they're going to be cappity doodah. Doesn't look like it. These 4 expire Friday. The lowest strike price is 385, 5.7% out of the money. And then the highest strike is 11.87% out of the money. So it should be okay. But we'll see. We'll see how this all, turns out, right? How it turns out and where we go from here. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And as far as Misti is concerned, that's it. That's the competitors. That's the update on Misti. So what do we do now? We're going to talk about the other funds, all right? So we're going to go back to the top and see the TSLY tribe, what they have to worry about. Buy to close call, they closed the call at 352, 352.50. It's in the money, and they paid a pretty penny. So they took the hit, it looks like. They took the hit on that. And what they do, let's see, they sold a call, they rolled it up to 380. Expiration date still Friday. So it looks like they want to take the hit now, capture more of the upside. And looking at the pre-market, this looks to be a good move. So yeah, I guess we could say I like it like that. Let's go look at the file, the TSLY files here. Let's see how we doing. All right, so how did Tesla do yesterday? Let's just check it out. Red day. After the big green day on, Tuesday, we had a red day Wednesday, and then today's going to be, a freaking green day. It's like a roller coaster, man. Anyway, Tesla's was down 1.68%. TSLY only went down 0.63%. So, wow, that's good. Good stuff. I believe we were in the money, though, weren't we? I don't know. We'll take a look in a second. There's the synthetics. They have a 320 and a 340. Sitting pretty because Tesla's at 356. But yeah, let's see how we're in the money. Okay. Sorry, let me get this all in one picture. I know we don't need the buy calls, but it looks so pretty, doesn't it? Anyway, what do we got? We got the lowest strike price is 355. Which one did they close, actually? Let me go back. I just want to see. They closed the 352.50. All right. So they closed the lowest strike price. 355 would have been the next lowest. They took the hit on that. The 355, again, judging by the pre-market, is probably in danger as well. So they may have to take the hit on that one, see how things go. The next one's up, 357.50, not much better, only 0.17% out of the money. And then the 3 after that are only 1, 2, and 6% out of the money. So we'll see. Again, we'll see how things go. Tesla looks to be, headed upwards. But again, it's only Thursday. We still got Friday. We'll see how it all goes. All right. The value of the TSLY fund is 1.1 bill. The NAV is 949, trade price 949. Synthetic is worth 62 cents on paper. 30-day IV, 62%. That is nice. That is nice. Almost freaking more than MSTR. Again, MSTR IV, man. It's getting a little, I don't know, man. It's not what it used to be. We need some crypto disruption, some movement, but in due time. IV estimate based on that, 46 cents. Income estimate, 142, that would be a 194% yield if they paid that. But again, they're not going to pay that. Group A declares when, not next week, but the week after, 13 days away on June 11th. Okay, so that's TSLY. Up next is Nvidia. We'll talk about them, but first, let's see what kind of trades they did yesterday. So what they did is they sold a call, they bought a call. 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 Okay, what the hell are they doing? So it looks like they sold, again, this was like the insurance piece of the trade, right? Don't think of covered calls. Just think of like the other part of it, like the other side, the credit call spread. We call it the butt buddy. We call it the insurance policy. That's the side that they sold, all right? So here it looks like, right, they sold the 150-250, all right? It was only worth 46 cents. So they decided, all right, we're going to sell that and we're going to buy a lower one. We're going to buy a 148. It's going to cost us a little more money, but we think it's worth it. Why? Earnings, all right? Nvidia earnings. Not saying they know what the hell Nvidia earnings is going to do, but maybe they're just, they get the feeling. You get a good feeling, you go with it. You go with your gut, I guess, right? So here again, they're selling this call. This thing's only worth 30 cents for the 155. But again, they're going to get that 30 cents, and they're going to pay 81 cents to buy the 149. Because maybe, just maybe, they could turn this into a quick profit, right? Maybe sell it today, and if Nvidia it goes up 10%, boom, cash this sucker out. See ya, I'm out of here, right? Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what their plan is, but that's what I'm thinking. All right, same thing here. They sold the 155, lowered it to 149. Kind of like the same thing for everything. So that's all they did yesterday. They just moved down the strike of the call that they bought. All right. So let's go to the Nvidia files. And if earnings went bad, that move would look awful. But earnings went good. So now they look like geniuses, right? They look like geniuses. Isn't it a wonderful thing? All right, how are we doing, Nvidia? You went down all right. You went down 0.51%. Nvidia went down, half of that, 0.26%. So, again, not a bad day. With earnings coming up, I don't think the market knew what the hell to do. But either way, if we look at the synthetic, they got a 120 and a 130. Nvidia's at 134. But the synthetic expires in July. So guess what? Who gives a crapola? All right. So what about the calls? What about all this jazz? Let's try to get this in. Let's look at it in one page. All right. We want the green because they moved down the green. All right. You could see they moved them down. But they're selling calls for this week. Again, everything. If you look at expiration date, that's all the way to the left. Right. You see 5:30, 5:30. 5:30. That's Friday. That's tomorrow. These all expire tomorrow. So here we go. We got a 140 strike, 3.85% out of the money. Is that safe? Probably not. Next up, 141, 4.59% out of the money. Is that safe? Probably not. And then it's scattered-de-duda all the way up to 146, which goes all the way up to 8.3% out of the money. And is that safe? Again, we don't know. We'll see how far up it goes. Was earnings that impressive for the market to, bring this up higher? We'll see, man. Could be an overreaction. Again, whatever happens after hours and pre-market, things could change when the market opens, man. We know that. So let's let it all play out. And then there's the buy calls. The lowest one is the 148. So it's just after the 146. We'll see if any of this is useless. But like down here, this 160, 250, yeah, forget that. That thing is useless. They're going to get like a penny for that sucker. But, we'll see how it goes. What the heck did I hear? I heard something. Anyway, Nvidia, the value of the Nvidia fund is 1.4 bill. The NAV is $15.27, trade price $15.29. Synthetic is worth $1.18 on paper. 30-day IV, 48%. IV estimate based on that, 57 cents. But the income estimate is $1.47, which comes to a 124% yield, but they don't declare for another 20 days on June 18th because they're part of Group B. Speaking of declaring, Coney declared yesterday. Let's see if they had trades before we cover them. Let's see. All right, where you at, Coney heads? Coney heads, here we go. By the close, 26 cents. All right, that looks good. What they close at 290, and it's at 254. That's a win and a half, man. What did they do? What did they do with the contracts? Well, they used them and they sold a 277.50, 9% out of the money, but they chose expiration date for next week. So they're thinking ahead. They're thinking way ahead. Again, we got 2 days this week, 5 days next week. This is for 7 trading days, plus whatever time was left yesterday. So that they better make bank. That's 1.9 mil bank, bruh. Bank. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that why options is amazing? You just make 1.9 mil. Just like that. Just like that. All right, anyway, let's get to the file. The power of options, man. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Most people, they don't want any part of it. And that's where YieldMax comes in, man. That's where all of the, not just YieldMax, it's a lot of funds now. They're coming, man. They're joining the party and they're coming up with strategies, the best strategy. So many strategies. There's like so many options now. There's just too much. How do you keep track? You don't. I don't even know. People were telling me, oh, did you see this fund? No, I haven't seen it. I haven't even looked at the other fund that came out a month ago or 2 months ago. Anyway, Coin yesterday, they went down 4.76%. Coney went down 4.04%. So is that a good day? No. Nope. Not a good day. A little rough one, actually. So, Synthetic, how you doing after that rough day? Well, you're at 250. And Coin's at 254. So you're still doing okay. Good job, Cynthy. Should we call him Cynthy? All right. I know, Scott and Jay, they want to call it Synthetic Combo, right? But I don't know. I can't. Combo is just not that fun. Maybe I'll get to it at some point. Synthetic Combo. I don't know. Anyway, how you doing with the calls? Well, did they, is this, yeah, that one's for next week. Why didn't I make it red? I don't know, because I forgot everything this morning. Again, I didn't want to get up because I have to go to work today. I don't feel like working. Sorry. Should have taken the whole week. All right, here we go. We got 3 strike prices for this week, for tomorrow, for Friday. Are we going to win our trades? Well, let's see. The lowest strike is 277.50. That's 9.13% out of the money. There's a pretty good chance they're going to win all their trades if that's the lowest strike. The other two are 280 and 282.50, 10 and 11% out of the money. The buy call is just chilling there, probably going to be useless. And then they have a call for next week. It's 9% out of the money, but again, we're not talking about next week at this moment. What's this over here? Yeah, just the government bond, negative cash. Why do we got negative cash? Well, today is ex-dividend day. What does that mean? It means cash, it gets a little depleted because they got to pay you guys. They got to pay you Coney heads your distribution. What's the variance showing? About 74 cents per share. What was the payment? I don't know, 73, right? Around there. So is that a good payment? I think so, right? Over 100% yield around. But anyway, the value of the Coney fund is 1.1 bill. The NAV is 793. Trade price 867. Synthetic on paper, it's worth 16 cents per share. All right, but again, that's not anything fantastic. 30-day IV, 59%. IV estimate based on that, 40 cents. Income estimate, nothing really yet, but it's a new cycle. We reset for the Monday, or in this week, Tuesday. And Group C declares when? They declare again in 27 days on June 25th. So stay tuned for that, Coney heads. Up next is your boy SMCY. They did not have trades, though, and I will show you that if you scroll. See, if we get to Ulti, then you know, okay, they didn't have any trades. So we're done with the trade file, and we will finish up here, and then we will get to my options trade. Sound good? Great, wonderful. All right, SMCI yesterday, they went up 0.93%. SMCY captured 0.8%, so that's an 85% capture. That's not all that bad. Not bad. Pretty good. Again, 80% I always say is the goal. You don't want any less than that. Synthetic, how they doing? It's at 45. It expires June 20th. SMCI is at 41 though, so let's let it be. All right, so how about the calls though? Ready? 3 strikes. What's the expiration? You got to scroll to the left to see it. 5:30, 5:30, and 5:30, 5:30, and 5:30. All right. So lowest strike 43.50, 3.67% out of the money. Is that safe? I don't know. We have 2 days, but the other ones look pretty good. Those are 7 and 10% out of the money. They have a pretty damn good chance to being, overall profitable, those trades. But time will tell. The value of the fund, the SMCY fund, 165 mil. The NAV, 2008, trade price 2009. Synthetic is worth negative. So we'll move on to the 30-day IV, which is still fantastic, 87%. IV estimate based on that, $1.35. Income estimate, $5.90, which is ridiculous because that comes to 381% yield. Group D declares next week, so this is going to be a fun one for Sunday's guesstimate video. Again, 6 days away, June 4th. What are they going to pay? They're going to pay a lot of money. Not $5.90, but they're going to pay more than they usually do. That's my guess. But what the hell do I know? All right, up next, your boy Platey. Let's check you out. How you doing? Palantir, they went up 0.3%. Nice little flat day. Perfect for Platey because Platey captured all of it, plus another 0.05%. So that's awesome. Again, fantastic day for Platey. Now, let's look at the synthetic. How's that doing? Is that going to be worth money when all said and done? So far, so good. The synthetic's at 115, Palantir's at 123, and the synthetic expires in July. So we can just again, leave that alone. Leave it alone. We don't even have to talk about it. Sometimes we just check in, right? We just check in. We make sure things are okay. You're right. Okay. Yeah. Good. All right. So let's look at the trades. When do these expire? Again, you gotta go to the left, but typically, yes, the same week. All right, they do 1 week contracts. Sometimes on the Wednesday or the Thursday or definitely the Friday, they're gonna roll into the following week. All right. Here we go. Lowest strike price for Platey, 127, 2.62% out of the money. That's close. The highest strike is 134, 8.27% out of the money, and then you got everything in between. So yeah, they are freaking scattery-doodah, man. They are scattered. They are ready. Let's go. But again, man, this tariff news might screw us up, right? The market may go boom. Doesn't look too crazy yet, but again, we don't know, when the market opens, it's a different ball game, man, because people they're not trading pre-market, the everyday schmuck. They don't even know how to. I don't. Who the hell's trading pre-market, right? The rich folk, right? And those are the people that move the market, obviously, right? The institutions, the this, the that, the other thing. But when the market opens, then you got the retail scrubs coming in. Let me get in. Let me get some of that, right? And then the market does what? Who the hell knows? So we'll see. Just let it play out, man. We can never judge. I mean, you have an idea with pre-market, but you got to let the whole day play out, man. You got to let it play out. Anything can happen. All right, so anyway, the value of the Platey fund is, oh no, it was a $500 million. Now it's 497 mil. It's okay. All right, the NAV is 62.41. Trade price 62.32. 9-cent gap. Interesting. Synthetic bailout 482 on paper. So that's pretty nice. 30-day IV 58%. IV estimate based on that 278. Income estimate is negative actually. But Group B anyway, they declare another 20 days away, June 18th. All right, so that's the update on YieldMax. Now time to talk about my options trades. If you give a crap. Some people do not give a crap, and that's okay. That's okay. If you guys are leaving me, I won't be offended, all right? I just want to say thank you for watching, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. All right, that being said, let's talk about my degenerate options plays. All right, I will cover what I'm trading currently. I'm trading 3 funds, Misti, TSLY, TNA. All right, where's my Misti stand? I sold a put way back when, 5/9, expiration date this Friday, 5/30. The strike is 23. It's 8% in the money. What is Misti priced at currently? What is it priced at? It's showing to be priced at 21.28. If it goes above 23 by the close on Friday, I will not get these shares. This contract will expire worthless. If it closes below the 23, I will be assigned these shares at $23 and be buying 100 shares at 23. And I'm okay with either result. Because why? Because it's Misti. Again, I'm buying Misti, but I'm only buying it via options contracts. You know, I'm not selling calls at the moment because my average sucks, right? So I'm not going to let them go for chump change, but I will sell puts and buy more that way, all right? You can see all of my history has just been puts. I haven't really had I sell calls in the other account, or I have, but in this account, it's really hard because my average cost basis is down here. It shows to be 27.25. So obviously I'm not going to sell calls when the current price is 21. The options chain is not that attractive to be able to do that. So for now, it's just puts. So when this one expires, even if I do get assigned, I'll sell another put for next month. All right, and I'll just keep building my Misti position. Hopefully I can build up my account as well. All right, so let's zoom in as far as we can without cutting off the date. There you go. So TSLL, I got a bunch going on here. But what happened yesterday, I'll just show you my trade from yesterday. The market was red, as I kind of hoped it would be a little red. So TSLL being at 16.31, I sold a put at $13. That expires next week. 20% out of the money. You think that's safe? I think so. Delta 0.12, super safe. That paid 22 cents per share, or $22, with a 68% yield. So again, that's for next week. So now for next week, I got a call on the put. And then for this week, for tomorrow, I got 2 puts and I got 4 calls. And are they going to be cappy to do that? Because again, TSLL kind of look green. The 18 is the highest. That's still 13% out of the money, so that's okay. What's the next highest? The 17, that's 6% out of the money, so that's okay. But then we got the 12 and the 14. They are in danger. Am I going to be able to roll them? To be honest, probably not. So, but we'll see. We'll see where TSLL brings us today. I may have to let them go, and I may get aggressive today. I may sell a put very aggressively, knowing that I cannot roll them anymore. So I may sell a put at 14, 15, 16. I don't even know. I don't even care. I'll do it. But it's aggressive day for TSLL because I can't let 200 shares go and not at least get 100 back. All right? So that's how I'm playing it. Again, I'm keeping the wheel alive. And at the same time, what's my average cost basis? $16.91. So yeah, I don't want to sell a put above 16. All right? So I can't, that's my last play, 16. If it goes above that, I mean, I'm just going to have to keep it at a 16 and just sell calls. I'll just be selling calls because I don't want to screw up this wheel. You don't want to sell puts and increase your average, right? I mean, you can, it's up to you, but that's not really part of my plan. So we'll see how all this plays out, okay? Sound good? Great. All right, the other one I'm trading, TSLL total for the week. How much am I making? $86. $86. TNA, I did some trades yesterday. All right, my first trade was a DGen play, all right? I always say I got maybe a couple DGen plays a week when I can. So I did essentially in the money put. TNA was at $29.54. I said, you know what? I'll sell an in the money put. I'll do a $30 strike. It was 1.56% in the money. How much did it pay me? 90 cents per share. I was trying to get $100, which means $100 total, but I got $90, which is pretty good, and that's a 378% yield. So we'll see how that works out. Right now it looks pretty good because the market's green, but you never know, man. Like you said, you never know. And then I sold a put because TNA, I believe it went down, right? It was at $29.54. Then it went down to $29.20. So I sold a put for next week, $26 strike, 10% out of the money, under 0.2 delta, and it paid me 28 cents per share, or $28. So that's good stuff. Now, what about this Friday? Any calls in danger? Well, let's see. How many calls do I have? I have 2 for this week. All right, let's just look at that. I'm not even looking at the puts because I think they're okay. But as far as calls go, I got a 31 and a 30, both out of the money. The 30 could be in danger. All right. So we'll see how that goes, though, because again, I got a $30 put, but if TNA goes to 31, then should I sell a put for 31? I don't know. I gotta be careful here, because what if it tanks again? Then I'll have 200 more shares, which is that okay? Maybe. Again, what's my cost basis on them? 37. I got plenty of room to be a freaking nutcase on this one. So yeah, I mean, I'm fine. I'm not worried at all on TNA, because I'm so underwater. I'm gonna be in this wheel for a while, because I'm keeping this wheel open till this baby turns into a sweet profit. All right, but at the same time, I got to keep that delta pretty. I don't want to be too aggressive. I'm only gonna do 1 or 2 degen plays a week, and that's it. I got to keep myself in check, because I can get a little out of control. For this week, though, TNA, I'm producing $180. That's good. You know, that's really good. I'm beating TSLL. Usually TSLL is whooping ass. I only have $86 for TSLL. That's interesting. All right, so anyway, the recap is for the weeklies, for the weekly income, I'm at 266. I have 2 days to make what I want of $400, because again, I do have this information on the Misti tab on the bottom. You know, again, my goal is for the month of May, you see right here, it's 413 is the weekly goal. Because why? Well, again, I take this is, in this account, my mortgage comes out, which is around, I always said 1261, but I forgot I do pay 1300. So it's 1300. So I need to double that. That's my goal, to double that at this very moment, at least for now. So in order to double the mortgage, I'll take how much I got paid on Misti, premium and dividend, subtract that the mortgage. Well, where's the formula? I take the mortgage, times it by 2, minus out what I made on Misti, and then I comes to 1651, then divide that by 4, and I get 413. So that's my weekly goal. That's how much I have to make on TSLL and TNA on a weekly basis. All right, so that is the goal. All right, and then I did add this, finally, the Retire Now tab. We're kind of starting fresh here for the month of May. You can see my goal after an adjustment is 2,200. I made 3,000 so far, which is obviously pretty good. But we'll get into those numbers in a little bit. But you can see my reinvestment percentage is already at 57%. So it's greater than 50%. So the goal has been achieved. So for the month of May, I don't have to do shit anymore. I don't have to do anything. Apologize for the language, but I don't have to do anything. I could just sit here and let the market go up. But at the same time, who the hell knows what's going to happen? I can't, it'd be, if I knew the market was going to go up, yeah, sure. I won't sell calls then. I'll just let them grow and wait till it stops. But who the hell? No one knows anything. So that's why I'm always trading. I'll just do safer plays, even though I already talked about doing a degenerate play today. So again, we'll see how it goes. We'll see. But that's my update on my options trades. Again, I'm still trading TNA, TSLL. Those are the main guys. Misti's just kind of like whatever. But yeah, eventually, like I said, I'm always going to trade. This is my future. The index is TSLL. I can't help it, man. The premium's so good. And TSLL, it just moves rapidly. It's fun. It's a really fun one to trade. And it's fun in a good way and a bad way. All right, so that's the update on my options trades. That's the update on YieldMax. And that's the video. So that being said, as always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, come back tomorrow, right? Tomorrow we'll talk about other things, right? Maybe we'll sing a little more. If you noticed, I kept the singing to a minimum, right? I'm making some people happy. I'm making some people mad. You can't please everyone every freaking video, right? It's not easy. But anyway, if you guys enjoy this content, please hit the like button. If you have any questions or concerns, leave them down below, all right? Outside of that, I got nothing else. I got to get my ass moving, start working. At least I don't have to drive to the office, so that's good. But anyway, we have to talk about the keywords. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you gotta say the freaking keyword. What is the damn keyword? I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. I didn't even think that far. Should we do another options keyword, right? Options. How about we do we said buy to close for yesterday, since I did an in the money put, right? I did an in the money put on TNA, remember? Right here. Where is it? Looking pretty, right? $30 in the money. It's negative, so it's in the money. So today's keyword is in the money. Hopefully everyone understands what that means. All right. If not, Google it, understand it, read up. It's important to understand these various options terms if you're going to learn options. So today's keyword, if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you'll have to type in the money in the comments below. That way myself and others know you're a trooper and you made it through this long ass video. Not easy, but you earned it. You earned it. Good job. All right. I gotta go check my emails. Hopefully it's less than 200, but we shall see. It's gonna be a rough day. I'm gonna be bitching and complaining, but I'll save that for another time. But again, guys, thank you for watching. Let me upload this and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Later. Peace.